Your purpose is this thing that gives you your power. It gives you your energy. Without it, the soul kind of just deteriorates. And your purpose is different from your passion. Your passion may be something that you enjoy doing, something that you've done since you were a kid that you're probably good at, and that's why you enjoy doing it. And maybe it's this joyful activity that you do, that you've done for a long time. But your purpose is the thing that gives you meaning to living. It could be something that is very difficult, something that you feel called to do. And you can also enjoy this as well. Passion and purpose sometimes intertwine. A lot of the times they do intertwine. But your purpose isn't necessarily this thing that you do to directly give you joy. It's this thing that you do that makes you feel useful to the world. And when we lose track of our purpose, the soul kind of just deteriorates because we no longer feel like we're contributing to society, to the world, right? And for me personally, I've been in no man's land with my mission, my purpose for the past couple of months since moving to a new city to to fully focus on my purpose and my vision, right? And this happened because I went from focusing all of my attention onto fitness coaching and fitness as the way to become a more confident, more capable, more powerful, and overall more proud person, just become the best version of myself. And I've shifted to thinking more deeply into a more broad spectrum of what it takes to become the best version of yourself. And I've realized that it is beyond fitness. There's more that goes into it, right? There's other areas of my life that I have to conquer, other fears that I must face, other weaknesses that I must strengthen. And after realizing this, I hit a weird spot. So I opened myself up, and this is what happens when you lose your purpose. You start testing things out. You're looking for anything you can do that's going to bring you out of this weird, murky water that you were in. So I started opening myself up to a relationship, right? I started talking to a girl, and keep in mind, this girl, she was amazing, right? But I messed up because I met her when I was not clear on my mission. My purpose had become blurry. And after spending a lot of time alone in my thoughts and just in solitude, I've realized that there's other aspects, other weaknesses that I have to conquer, right? And some of those involve my communication skills, social skills, and fighting skills, and a couple other things that are below the surface level, below the outside as far as the appearance, what the world sees, right? So I've been working on those things, but as far as my mission, it hasn't been very clear. So when I decided to open myself up to this relationship, I did not have the thing that gave me my energy. And when I was with her, keep in mind, this was a great girl. As a matter of fact, she was everything that I'd been asking for, in a long-term relationship, right? But when I was with her, I felt even more lost because I felt like I was avoiding something. I felt like I was using her as a means to run from the chaos inside of my mind, the uncertainty that I had within me, the lack of direction. I was using her as my mission. She became my mission. She became my purpose. And it got to where I was waking up, we hung out for several days, and I was waking up and I was only thinking about her. The best thing I had on my mind was hanging out with her. And this doesn't sound like a bad thing, but you have to understand that when you don't have purpose, when you feel like you don't have purpose, even when you're around the people you love the most, you're going to feel this little bit of emptiness. Right? You're going to feel this little token of emptiness. And this is what I felt around her. But the reason I felt so lost is because this right here, recording these videos, sharing my ideas and helping men, find direction in all the chaos and find meaning in life. This is what I do to find my meaning. Like by doing my studying, reading, and just digesting information and then sharing the information that I find is what gives me meaning, is I feel like I'm helping somebody. When I stopped doing that, I stopped recording content, stopped recording fitness stuff, stopped providing value to people, I got lost. I lost that sense of connection, that sense of meaning that I had. So when I lost that, there was this empty hole inside of me. So the thing that fueled me was no longer there. And like I said before, when you don't have the thing that fuels you, your soul kind of just deteriorates. I slacked off on my diet. I'm very big in, taking care of my health. Being the biggest, strongest, fastest, most powerful person I can be. And we were eating out a lot, and I was eating like crap here at the house. And when I lose the things that give me my value, that give me my power, I'm not able to give the best version of myself to anybody I talk to. So this girl, beautiful, very talented, very great head on her shoulders, but I couldn't give her my full energy. I couldn't give her the attention, the appreciation I wanted to give her. I couldn't really show her that I actually, was interested in her and wanted to be around her. I just felt extremely low energy. And this is despite everything that she was, the great person that she was. And I know it's because I didn't have the sense of meaning that I had. I was missing the source of my energy. This is why it's so important to live in alignment with the highest self. Living in alignment with the person you should be. The best version of you has to be the priority. Because what else are you going to do? If you're not living in alignment with the best person you can be, if you're not behaving the best possible way you can, you're giving a mediocre version of yourself to the people you care about. So you think that by giving your attention to one person, giving your attention to the people that you love is the right thing to do to show your love. But the best thing to do to show your love is by providing for yourself first. Making sure that you are providing for yourself internally, physically, spiritually, taking care of yourself. And when your self is taken care of, then you can provide for the people around you. Then you can give your appreciation, give your love to the people around you. But if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to bring the best version of yourself to the people you're trying to connect with, right? So you provide for others by providing for yourself. That's the point of that. And you can't sacrifice your authentic self to please others, because a lot of times we get in these, or whether we're trying to make a friend, whether we're trying to get involved with a romantic relationship, whether we're trying to establish a business partnership, we want to be somebody different. And I'm not saying you can't be adaptive depending on your situation. I'm not saying that, but you don't want to sacrifice your values, the things that you find meaningful, the things that make you who you are, right? You don't want to change who you really are. There's certain characteristics you can kind of fold up a little bit and change around, but there's certain deep parts of you that if you reject those deep parts of you and you pretend that they don't exist, even when you're trying to establish a new relationship, you're going to mess something up. You're going to mess up your mind. You're going to have this cognitive dissonance inside of your mind, which is a battle between who you are and who you know you could be, or a previous version of yourself, or who the person is you're trying to be. You're not living in alignment with who you are inside and the deepest parts of you, right? You're not living in alignment with your deepest, most authentic self. And I think that is the ultimate mistake with relationships, right? These people, and this is another reason why it's so important. The people you meet, the friends you make, the partners you meet and fall in love with, they fall in love with the version of you that they first met, right? So they fall in love with the version of you that was focused on himself, and the version of you that was taking care of himself, that was taking care of his business, making money, just upgrading his mindset, that best version of him. And that's the person they find interesting. And when you start giving your attention to this person, giving all of your focus and energy to this person, you slowly drift away from the person that you once were. And the paradox is women want you to put them first, right? And they don't understand the consequences of that. And this has nothing to do with the girl I'm recently talking about. That was just a story. But I've experienced this with many of my other relationships, or attempts at relationships. I had this bad habit of putting people first when I realized that I like being around somebody. So if you meet a woman and you're fit, you have six-pack abs, you're super hyper disciplined, and you're at the gym all the time, and you're really taking care of yourself, and you're starting to hang out with a girl, and all of a sudden you start sleeping in with her. She wants you to stay in bed with her and watch a movie. She wants you to cuddle with her all morning. But that's the thing. You think by staying in bed with her, by cuddling up with her all day, that's going to make her want you more. You think by giving in to what she wants, what she thinks she wants, is going to strengthen the relationship. But what you don't realize you're doing, and what she doesn't realize she's making you do, is you're losing connection with who you are. You're losing connection with the thing that makes you powerful, the thing that gives you your energy. And if going to the gym being fit, eating clean, healthy food is what gives you your power. If you sacrifice that, eventually there's going to be a split that happens in your psyche. And it's a split of who you know you should be, the person you should be living in alignment with versus the person you are behaving in this current moment. And when that happens, things turn bad, not only for yourself because your mind knows you're not living up to your potential, but also for the person you're engaging with because you're no longer the person that you were when they met you. And the person, the woman that you are spending this time with doesn't realize she's doing that. But the minute you start to lose the six pack, lose the abs, lose the drive for your business, lose your motivation to being a successful man, she's going to lose interest in you because that's the version of you that she wants. She just doesn't realize that in order for you to be the version that she wants, you have to keep doing the things that you were doing when you first met her, which it means putting time into your business, putting the focus into building your strong and fit and very good looking and physically strong body. And you still have to put the same energy into those things, regardless of whether you're with somebody or not. So the moral of the story is put yourself first, no matter what. You can't give the best version of yourself to others when you're not living in alignment with the highest version of yourself. So in order for you to give the best version of yourself to the people that you love, to the people you care about, to the people you want to spend time with, you first have to be the best version of yourself. And that involves keeping your energy, keeping your focus, keeping your efforts behind the things that give you meaning. Once those slip, once those things go away, the soul kind of just dies. When the soul dies, you're no longer that person that you once were when they first met you. And you don't have the energy to give. Once you lose the thing that gives you energy, you no longer have the energy to give to the people around you. So once you stop doing the thing that gives you the power, you no longer have any energy to give. So you have to keep that thing, the purpose, the mission, whether it's something you enjoy doing or whether it's something that just gives you meaning. You have to keep doing that thing. And you have to keep that the focus. That has to stay first. That can be, your mission can be some outside thing like saving the world or, curing dolphin disease, or it can be building a phenomenal body and taking care of yourself or repairing your mind. But whatever that mission is, whatever that purpose is, whether it's external or internal for yourself, it has to be first. I hope you guys got something out of this video. I know this was a little bit more philosophical type video and I'm kind of in some deep thoughts right now, but this is the type of stuff that I think about on a daily basis. And with all my videos, I try to just document the things that cross my mind, the thoughts that I have. So I know there's people out there that struggle with the same thing, with, trying to figure out what the ratio between putting the people you care about or the people you're interested in first over your values, over your mission, over your purpose. I know that every man faces this decision, right? And whether he's unconscious of it or conscious of it, the thought crosses his mind. If this video resonated with you in any way, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe, hit that like button, drop a comment, tell me what you think. Tell me if you agree with me, because I know there's some people that don't think the exact same way that I think, and that's completely fine with me. So if you disagree with me, comment, let me know. Let me know your ideas about this topic, whether you should put your passion or put your purpose and your mission first over the people you love, or the people you care about, the people you want to be in your life, whether you should put the people first or you should put your purpose first. Let me know your opinion. But look, I appreciate you watching to the end of this video if you did, and I hope you come back and see us again.